Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, my name is Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning in, no matter where you are or how you're watching. Obviously, we really wanted this game to go a little bit differently. But considering the Saints were 7-point underdogs, Jake Haener was absolutely terrible in the first half. Spencer Rattler was phenomenal. He provided a spark. In my personal opinion, Haener has zero business taking another snap for the Saints this season. I want to see what Rattler can do in these final 3 games. I want to see what the young guys can do, especially on Kendre Miller. We're going to talk a lot. We have a lot of things to discuss, but nothing quite as important. Selfish plug here. It's my birthday. I'm turning 26 years old. It's the Deuce McAllister year. So what I'm doing is I got some eggnog and I got some rum in here. Not rum. Southern Comfort. I got Southern Comfort and some eggnog. And during our live show, we had a lot of support, and I told them I'd start off with a whiskey and eggnog chug. So here's to you. Wish we would have won today's game. But, hey, happy birthday to me again. All right, now, while that sits in my stomach like a brick of cottage cheese, let's break down this ball game. All right, Jayden Daniels. Yeah, he's good. Jayden Daniels is really good at football, in case you didn't know. I really wish the Saints had Jayden Daniels. You were never going to get Jayden Daniels. He's pretty damn good. Not only was he great in the air, he was phenomenal on the ground. Multiple opportunities for McLaurin. I mean, he had a phenomenal day, 7 catches for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. There were multiple chances throughout the game. It was a breakaway or a long pass that just got slightly overthrown, got tipped or whatever. Like, a lot of opportunities for Jayden Daniels and McLaurin to just continue to add to the stat sheet. But Daniels, I mean, God, that's what you get in a first-round pick. That's what you get when you have a top pick in the draft. He looked really good in his return to Louisiana. In terms of the rushing, 11 carries for 66 yards. He had a long of 24 yards. You can see that on the screen. I mean, he was really, really good. The Saints defense struggled big time against the run. And it wasn't just Jayden Daniels, but Brian Robinson as well. 21 carries, 65 yards. He had a long of 20 yards, excuse me. So Brian Robinson Jr. was really good. And first of all, I want the Saints to get a guy like Brian Robinson Jr. I think you might have a little bit of that in Kendre Miller, for the record. I want to talk about Kendre in a second, but I mean, just tell the story of the team. It's exactly what we've seen every week. Struggles against the run, struggles on key downs, can't capitalize on mistakes that the other team makes. So multiple different opportunities where the Saints defense would put up a 3rd and long and then they'd give it up. I mean, it felt like every other drive or every 3 downs, it was short run for gain of 2, somewhere like at most a gain of 2, an incomplete pass from Jayden Daniels, and on 3rd down, or a sack even, and then on 3rd down, either Jayden tucks it and runs or throws and just absolutely dices us up and gets a 1st down. I mean, the Commanders' offense had a day. They were averaging 4.4 yards per play, 189 yards through the air, 137 yards on the ground in total, averaging just under 4 yards per carry. I mean, they commanded the time of possession. They had 40 minutes of possession time. And to be totally honest, the fact that the Saints only lost by 1 point, considering that they had the ball for less than 20 minutes, is actually outstanding to me. And I will give credit to the Saints offense. It was terrible in the first half. It was bad. But in the second half, when it really needed to turn things around, when Spencer Rattler took the field, that was a spark. That is the spark that the Saints needed. And to be totally honest, when you compare the offenses together, it really favors the Commanders. But late in the game, the New Orleans Saints were really able to start making some things happen. And for me personally, I do believe had you started Spencer Rattler, you would have won this game. I really do. I mean, Rattler was phenomenal. 10 for 21, 135 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Look, on top of that, he was not sacked once today. That's a big thing for me, is that he didn't go down. He was getting the ball out a lot quicker. And, you know, when you go back in time and look at what he did in that 3-game stint where he started, he looks so much better. And, you know, 2 things can be true, for the record. People on Twitter are already coming after me saying, you flipped on Spencer Rattler so quick. Didn't you hate him after his first 3 games? For the record, no. I've literally never said I hate Spencer Rattler. I actually think Rattler is the guy for the future. If you have all that thing to say, then clearly you don't watch the show, or clearly you're just trying to be a hater or just get some attention from me. But, I mean, Rattler looked immensely better. I mean, it looked like a completely different player. He had so much more poison, especially down the stretch when you needed to fight back and get some points. He was able to do that. I mean, it was really, really good. Jake Haener, boy, oh boy. In media time, or in his media time before the game, during practice and whatnot, Jake Haener, he was on the record saying, I'm going to let it rip. It's maybe the only opportunity I ever get to start in an NFL game. I got to show him what I'm capable of. I think he was right about one thing. Might be the only time he ever starts an NFL game. It wasn't good. And for all of you, Derek Carr, Fresno State, Jake Haener, just fans, like, you can still be a Saints fan, but let's stop pretending Fresno State quarterbacks are this powerhouse, this game-changing, these guys. Fresno State is not a quarterback factory. They're just not. They're not even a college football factory, to be totally honest. Jake Haener, a few years ago, I didn't mind the pick. Now it's clear that Spencer Rattler is the guy. I just don't know how you can't go with Spencer Rattler to start these last 3 games. So what do you guys think? I think Jake Haener has no business playing another snap this year, unless he obviously has to due to an injury or something like that. But should Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener start on Monday Night Football in Green Bay at Lambeau Field Monday, December 23rd? Let me know who you want to be the starter. I'm going to be spamming my SRs. I think he just gives you the best chance to win. And to be totally honest, of course, if you win these games, maybe it hurts your draft stock. But honestly, I'm kind of in the camp of I'd rather see something from my team. I'd rather see a quarterback give me a little bit of something rather than thinking, well, there is no backup plan. We don't have an option outside of Derek Carr. Like, I don't want to be tied to Derek Carr for a long time. I want to move on and get the Dennis Allen, like all of that nonsense. I want all of it gone. I think Spencer Rattler's the guy to, carry on and move forward. Darren Rizzy did say we felt like we needed to make a change at halftime. I think that is a very accurate statement. And I just got to say credit to Darren Rizzy also for making that tough decision. I'm going to tell you more. I'm going to talk more about Darren Rizzy here in a second, go through some things that he's telling media right now as he's speaking in his post-game press conference. But really quick, shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's video. Game Time is my favorite ticketing app, and they have a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on seats that you're actually interested, so that way you don't waste time searching through thousands of seats that you're never going to buy anyway. So you can get tickets to the Pelicans, you can get tickets to the Saints. I mean, I don't know why you would want to get a ticket to a Saints game, but if you wanted to, they're pretty cheap right now. You can actually get $20 off your first purchase if you use code CHATSPORTS. Terms do apply, but once again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. So download the Game Time app today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, I want to talk a little bit about what Darren Rizzy's saying to media. He's saying that he is, quote, overwhelmingly proud of the Saints team for their fight in this game. Obviously, they were down at one point 14-0, and they battled back and scored as time expired. Foster Moreau backing into the end zone, having a phenomenal play right there. And just too little, too late. The 2-point conversion attempt, I, for the record, really like the idea of going for it. I think that Darren Rizzy's stock as the head coach candidate continues to grow and continues to increase. And if you disagree with me, Nick Underhill is also saying the same thing. So what, you're going to say that I don't know ball and Nick Underhill doesn't know ball? Clearly somebody's lying here. Just kidding, obviously. But on top of that, Darren Rizzy's saying we wished we could have duplicated it for 2 halves. Wish he could have seen seen this offense out there for 2 halves. I mean, they barely had any possessions in the first half, and I think that that's where they really killed you. Washington just controlling the clock the entire time. But I want to give a lot of credit to Kendre Miller here. 9 carries, 46 yards. He was a key factor in the second half to being extremely productive, and a big reason why he was able to get a lot of runs. Well, Alvin Kamara, he left the field in the fourth quarter. Nobody really knew what happened. He went to the injury tent. He got actually injured on a play. He didn't touch the ball, and he was ruled questionable to return with a groin injury. So we're going to have to monitor that situation for the New Orleans Saints. He did have an absolutely insane touchdown for the record. Little hickory-dickory. We got some trickery. Cedrick Wilson gets the pitch from Spencer Rattler, and Wilson, who for the record has a cannon for an arm, he threw it all the way across the field. Alvin Kamara, one-hand catch, beautiful, just drops the biscuit in the basket. Unbelievable touchdown. It was really, really cool. So shout out to AK, obviously wishing him good good fortune and good vibes in terms of his injury. But Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he also did leave for a little bit due to a concussion protocol. He cleared concussion protocol. He was okay. He returned to the game after a really nasty hit from Jeremy Chin, who also went into concussion protocol for the Washington Commanders. It was a scary hit, but I'm really glad that at least our player is healthy. Don't really know too much about Jeremy Chin in that regard, but this is the Saints channel, so the Saints player, positive injury update around him. Marquez Valdes-Scantling did get a lot of opportunities. There was a lot of passes batted down at the line of scrimmage that were just overthrown or whatever. And Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I thought could have had a little bit more of an impact today. However, when you have Marshawn Lattimore on you, it's kind of hard to make something happen here. Foster Moreau, I got to give him just a lot of credit. I got to give him a lot of love every single week in, week out. He comes and shows up and makes a play. He comes, he makes a play, he proves himself. He just every week he just looks more and more of a part of this team, and I really like it. I think he's a talented football player. I want to see more from him as the season winds down and whatnot. But in terms of my game ball and who gets the MVP, got to give it to Spencer Rattler, man. He was good. He was really good. Jake Haener got sacked 3 times, and honestly, I'm going to give an offensive game ball to Spencer Rattler because he was really talented. But I want to give a big time game ball to the defensive line. 8 total sacks today. 8 total sacks on Jayden Daniels, who, for the record, is one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league. The Saints, there's no mystery about it. There's no question. They struggle against mobile quarterbacks, especially when they can just tuck it and run. Demario Davis had a sack. Ugo Amadi had a sack. Let's listen down the line. Demario Davis, Ugo Amadi, Cam Jordan had 2. Carl Granderson had 1. Chase Young had 2. And Willie Gay had a sack. 8 total. Ever since the Saints made a change on the defensive line coaching staff, it's been a lot better. Cam Jordan, just a month ago, only got 10 snaps against the Carolina Panthers. And look what happens when you give him more opportunities. Over the last couple of games, he has been really, really good as a pass rusher for the New Orleans Saints. So, that's just my thoughts. It's my immediate reactions, my quick, just opinions about this. I'm upset, obviously. I hate that the Saints didn't win. Winning is so much more fun. But, at the end of the day, I wouldn't look at this game all doom and gloom. You almost stole one. You almost stole it. And for a team whose season's pretty much done going into this game, now it really is done. Shoot, man. Saints fought. They had a lot of fight. And if Darren Rizzy can bring that kind of fight out of a team that going into this game was 5-8 and is now 5-9, I think that's head coach material right there. He's a damn good football player. And Darren Rizzy, really quick on Spencer Rattler. He has that natural leadership ability. He has the playmaking ability, and he said that he's learned from his experience, which I couldn't agree more. He also said that Jake Haener's not the one to blame for this loss. It's a whole team effort. Football is a team sport at the end of the day. But no question about it. Spencer Rattler gives you the better chance to win. Spencer Rattler should start the remainder of the season. But hey, Saints fans, I really do appreciate you guys for tuning in to the live show. We got a lot of new members in our family and in our Golden Gang. So shout out to every single one of you who's joined the program. And also, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's sent me some love for my birthday. It's been an absolutely great day. The Deuce McAllister year, unfortunately, starts off with a loss, but I'd say it was a pretty good day all in all. Who Dat Nation, I appreciate you for hanging out with us. Y'all stay golden. We will see you next time.